How's it going? Want to make this video about knowing nothing being equating to true wisdom. Now, when you get to the point to where you admittedly know nothing and everything that you thought you knew falls apart and crumbles and doesn't resonate with you anymore, then the only thing you're left with is true wisdom. And that wisdom is knowing nothing and admittingly knowing nothing, knowing that you know nothing. And it can definitely be scary and frustrating, and you know um, you know just constantly trying to connect the dots and everything and try to make everything make sense when it doesn't make sense, or when trying to you know fit something in the framework fit something into the framework that you had previously, but not having that same perception anymore. It's like it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't add up. It's like seeing something through a particular way and it makes perfect sense, and then you see it from a different, higher perspective, or just a different perspective. It doesn't have to be a higher perspective, just a different perspective, and then that old way of looking at it then becomes void. And then but the somebody else that's still looking at it like that, that's how that's just how they see it, and that to them that's what it is. But then it's like when you shift perspectives, and or raise the level of awareness, or whatever, however you want to look at it, then you're looking at it differently. And then you're gonna it's just gonna the result of that is what you're looking at is gonna be different, because you're looking at it differently. And you know um, instead of trying to fit things to make sense in the old paradigm, it's like that old paradigm has to fall apart to then be recreated again into the new. And then it's like build around the new paradigm, the new framework, the new mental framework, the new you know um, belief system, belief filtration system. And then from there it's like everything starts clicking again, but then for it to just fall apart again. And I believe this to just to be part of the process of realizing that again, true wisdom is knowing that one knows nothing, and accepting that, and not trying to fight it and logically, because the logical mind wants to be in control. It wants to know everything. It wants to know why and how, and it wants to know things that we're not meant to know. And that's the issue, and that's what I believe causes a lot of people, myself included, grief, when it comes to trying to figure out um, truths of reality, and how things work, and why is this happening, why is that happening, what should I do next, and all these things. And it's so easy to be lost in the sea of infinite possibilities, to where you can get caught up in trying to, again, put something into a box that isn't meant to be put in a box. And that's where that's where wisdom comes in. And I believe it to be a natural thing, to where it's just like a realization, like everything else is. It just happens through experiences, and when you rack your brain enough, and you then and you can't find the solution, the only thing left to do is surrender, and that will eventually happen. I mean, and when that does happen, that's when that's when wisdom is achieved. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that once you achieve that wisdom, that's it, because obviously there's going to be new belief systems that pop up, and more things, and through your experiences, and then we might shift back into our old beliefs or something. But when you get into that state of you don't know anything, you feel like you don't know anything, and you just feel lost and confused, and all you can do is just surrender to it. That is ironically wisdom. It's just the ego doesn't like to not be in control. So that's why it feels, that's why I can definitely feel bad. But, you know, it's just knowing that, this is how it is right now, and what needs to play out will play out. And it's like emptying a sponge out. The sponge get fills up, and then if the sponge, if the person thinks that they know everything, aka the sponge being filled, it can't soak up anymore. So what needs to be done? It needs to be emptied. The sponge needs to be squeezed out, aka the person needs to admit that they don't know anything, or not admit, but they have to come to that realization of I need to let go of all these things that I attach to my identity, that I you know and these things that I hold so close to me, of like these ideas and everything. And you have to be willing to let that all go, and empty your sponge, empty your mind of all these things. And then from there, that enables the things that resonate with you, with the higher version of you, the newer version, however you want to look at it. That enables the new stuff to come in. So it's like out with the old, in with the new. And that's a an easy way to look at it. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and take care.